Doors open at 5 o'clock. Fights start at 6. We got a couple amateur fights to kick things off. And I'll say, before we get into all this, we were supposed to have a third amateur fight. And in fact, this fight card was going to be an all-pro card. There were no amateurs due to be on this card until I was talked into doing a YouTuber's fight. And we've been talking this thing up over the past few weeks. We had both members of the fight, or both parts of the fight, on the show last week. It was going to be Andy Warski versus Tonka Saw, two very polarizing YouTube personalities. And that all came to a screeching halt this week. I digress. We added 2 more amateur fights with it, which to make it kind of a proper pro-am. And that fight, like I said, it fell apart this week. The official reasoning behind it, we were unable to get medicals in time from one of the participants, as well as that participant's name not matching the name that we were given for their bout agreement. So, that's not the proper way to go about things. I'm not taking any side as far as either side's ideology. It was Tonka Saw that was unable to provide his proper documentation and paperwork in time. Andy Warski, by the hair of his skinny chin, did get his things in. But unfortunately, it wasn't to be. This is, a sanctioned fight, a sanctioned event. We have to go about things the right way, and that means using the proper names. And that's just how it is. If that's not the way that you guys can settle things, you got to, film it in a parking lot, something like that. But you can't do that on a sanctioned show and get away with it, unfortunately. Or maybe fortunately. That seems crazy, So again, not taking either side's ideologies. I'm far from in agreement with anyone in their their rants and views on YouTube and whatnot. But from an impartial perspective here, as far as doing what you're supposed to do and going about things the right way, it just wasn't to be. And I apologize to all the fans that were looking forward to this, but it really is, I'm at a loss for words, honestly. And it's rare that I am, but I'm really almost speechless just because this is a first for me, having the name that was submitted for a bout agreement not being the name that comes in on medicals. And then I don't believe that any medicals are falsified. Let me say that. I do truly believe that the name on the medicals is the name of the person. But the person was having a name change, he said, that would, I guess, legally bind or, legally allow him to use either name in a legal capacity. I asked for proof of such and still was unable to get that. So unfortunately, it is what it is. And it's a disappointment for sure. But at the same time, it has been just a huge headache, too. Because, these guys have a lot of, followers, listeners, subscribers, and they are blowing us up wanting to know what's happened. And that's what's happened. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. And I'm not going to be addressing it any further. Any of you guys have anything to add on this craziness here? Or are you guys as lost on this as me?
Weak ass bitch.
Well, I've seen a lot of fights canceled for a lot of reasons, man, but that's a first, man. I'm changing my name. Sorry, it doesn't match my shit.
It is. Yeah, I mean, it really is. It's wild. And I just don't get the reasoning behind doing it in the first place, honestly. The reason I was given was to protect his true identity because the other side's fans and followers were harassing them, and, that may be true, just from the outside looking in at the parties, I could see this other side being a force, to have to deal with, on social media and whatnot. So I can see that, but at the same time, we had agreed the entire time to promote him only as his personality name. At no point did we put any of his real name out there to the public beyond just the sanctioning. So I just didn't understand the reasoning behind giving me the wrong name, because one has to imagine, it doesn't just end there. People are going to be checking your ID and things like that. It's not. This is a legit sanctioned event.
Man, YouTubers, I'm not sure they can fight that well. I'm not too bummed about it, but it's a weird reason.
Yeah. Who knows? I know that they were preparing for it allegedly. Andy Warski had told me that he'd been training, very hard for this, taking it serious. He lives up in Canada, has bought plane tickets, and I'll say he'll still be appearing at the show. He's still coming in. He's got, he bought plane tickets and airfare to be here. So he will be in the house Saturday night. And with that, let's move on to the fights that are actually happening.